All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to do another episode of HYDE Street. This is issue number 5 from Image Comics, Ghost Machine, by Geoff Johns, Francis Portela, Brad Anderson, Rob Lee. So yeah, we have, instead of Ivan Reis, we have now Francis Portela for this issue. And I must say, I'm really enjoying this. This is a fun. It feels like a TV episode of darker, horror stories, one shots basically, and that's what it is. It has an overall story arc. As you can, you can read this, you can pause the video, but this story is about Miss Goodbody, and she's a fitness instructor. She's yelling at this woman called Trisha. She says, "Nobody loves a piggy. You need to work harder," right? She says, "Move or die." Well, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Poor Trisha. But Mr. Glee Goodbody doesn't believe it. Should get your lard butt up. She's faking it. Excuses to quit. I think we better call 911. Yeah. She's dead. And now we go to the now, right? Because this is way back then. We're coming back to that. So, Miss Glee Goodbody, was once in the 80's a fitness instructor. And every time she sees a reflection, she sees Patricia Stripe. She sees every soul she delivered because she sees herself in them. Yes, she is another soul taker because, she needs 10,000 souls given, for the enigmatic scorekeeper so that she can escape from HYDE Street. Just like Mr. X-Ray Pranky, the Matinee Monster, and other residents of the HYDE Street, or HYDE Street in general. And this is her shop called Fat Free, right? Always a few pounds to shed, a wrinkle to erase, a mirage of happiness retreating even further into horizon. Miss Glee Goodbody, an avatar of relentless judgment. But, as you soon learn, it's not entirely her fault. She's a relic of a bygone era. And they are talking about the 80's, of course, because the 80's was fantastic. As a lot of, let's say, fitness instructors. I mean, that's how you call it back then, instead of influences. God, I hate that word. And, lots of pink neon blues and greens and, all that stuff. Sweatbands and short jeans or short shorts, right? They were the original dopamine chasers, right? But she never left her store, which is particular. I mean, she's arrived here, but she's never set a foot outside, which is strange. But in the end of the book, I'm going to show you where you can find this information because it's not explained here, but in her bio as well. I mean, every HYDE Street has a bio of, the residents of HYDE Street, which is pretty interesting, right? Anyway, but it seems that the people here on HYDE Street never gets old. They are staying eternally young for whatever reason. That's what I think, right? Because he's coming from the 80's. She's in the now, but she hasn't aged a day. But then she's getting a visit of Mr. X, and he believes that they can help each other. But she says, "What are you doing here? Save the sale pitch. I told you many times my shop only carries what people need." And he says, "Well, I'm not here for the sales. I want to talk about boy, Pranky." "No, don't you say his name. Say his name, because every time he says it, he shows up, right? And please stop staring at me with those X-ray specs of yours. I see what they can do to other residents." But Mr. X-ray says that this boy, snatching souls at an alarming rate, he could have been gone by now, but he doesn't. He just stays and snatching up souls, meaning he's snatching up souls before they can do it, because they need to get out of here. But Pranky, he doesn't want to get out of here, but he's still snatching up souls, right? And it's going to be a problem. It means that they cannot leave because he's snatching up all their souls. But she says, "So what? I only need 2 victims, 2 more self-loathing fools to the scorekeeper. And then I'm done here, right? And she says that her shelves are always filled with things that people desire, right? And she says, hey, I can help you because you've worn those glasses for decades. My shop knows what that's done to your eyes. And he says, they come in all sorts of colors. Yeah, right? Yes, Miss Goodbody, a veteran now of HYDE Street's terrors. But what was her story before? It's been whispered, fragmented like so many others here, but I am Mr. X-Ray. I can see stories, the ones people hide, even from themselves. So we go back to the 80s, 1983 to be exact, February the 21st. So she's been fired by, Iron and Ace, or Iron and Dance. That's the sport. We call it the sports school, but it's a gym in English. I know that, right? He says, be grateful the cops are pressing charges for what you have done to this poor woman. I didn't do anything wrong, she says. Yes, you did. Just clean out your locker and get out of here. But she's also unhinged. Well, I'm going to show you that a little bit later. She says, but if I go, I'm going to take my followers with me. You don't want to do that, right? And she said, what about my aerobics class? Well, it's been taken over by Brandy, and Brandy is doing a fantastic job. I like the colors and art. It has a certain style to it. It has not those deep, shiny, glossy colors, that really pop. It's just those, 80s muted colors, maybe, Looks great, by the way. I love it. This is a cool page. She said, I'll do anything. Tell me how I can fix this. So he says, you want to fix something? Start with your makeup. It's running all over the place. God, where were those tears at Trisha's funeral? But then she snaps. She says, you think what I did was wrong? Trisha was better off dead than living. Trisha's better off than dead than living like a pig. She's out of her mind. Should we call the police? I mean, she could have cleaned his, not his face off, but she could do serious damage, right? She said, I didn't mean to do it. And then a voice says, yes, you did. And it's Trisha's, she's Trisha's sister, right? He said, you did it to her. You put her down every morning. I was only trying to motivate her. She needed it. You made Trisha hate yourself. Well, she should have. She was a lazy cow. That just cracks me up so hard. And the sister says, well, you're a monster, and I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to make you pay for what you did. I'm going to destroy you like you destroyed my sister. Well, get out of my way, blubber butt. When faced with reality of what she had done, Miss Goodbody did what she always did. She ran. You sicken me. The moment every man, woman, and child put food to their lips in unison, she was on HYDE Street. And then she sees a candy shop. And there is a flashback. No more chocolate for you. You're turning into mommy's little piggy. No one loves a piggy, Glee. Your father certainly didn't. You have no self-control, Glee. You're a lazy cow. Look at yourself. Ugly girl. There was only one thing that could mask the pains of her cravings. More pain. She's nuts. Who are you? You've been served, and shame on what you did to that poor woman. She's nuts, completely nuts. The legal papers in her hand laid it all out. So even if she has won the legal battle, she would, her savings would be drained and she would be in ruin. But then she is seeing another storefront, psychic terror, And there's music coming from it, her favorite music. And so as the song played on, the fish took the bait. And what a bait it was. Well, she's been greeted by sisterhoods, which I'm pretty sure is another resident on HYDE Street, if you know what I mean, right? So is she a truthsayer, a psychic, a charlatan, if you will? Well, she says the first reading is free. So she's sitting here and she knows everything about, Miss Goodbody. right? There's a woman threatening you. What kind of scam are you running? Are you involved in this? I'm only involved if you want me to be. The choice is yours if you wish. If you wish to save what little you have left, this woman must be dealt with permanently. She reminds me of my own departed sister. Rest her soul. Drop of this, and she faded from this world without a trace. What is it? A solution. Put it in anything you can find of. Well, anything she eats. She sat and stared at the vial that night, but the next day Miss Goodbody went back to the chocolate shop. And while the silver suit was no more due to death, Miss Goodbody became a permanent figure on HYDE Street. This is so macabre. I love it. This is really well told. It's so different than the other comics that I'm reading, and makes me want to, read more and more and more, right? And all these residents on HYDE Street are so fun to read. They have their own personalities and quirks, and well, they do everything to, deliver those 10,000 souls. Needless to say, Miss Goodbody's soul was damned after killing those sisters. The scorekeeper spared her. She signed the same contract as the rest of us, deliver 10,000 souls and escape. Since that time, business has been good for Miss Goodbody. As the decades march on, it's only getting better. So this guy comes in and, she has everything that the customer needs, right? But then, I'm sorry to interrupt, but did someone say my name? So yeah, it's Pranky. No one, this is mine. Leave, boy, before I make you regret it. Get out of my shop, but it's already too late. Pranky has gathered another soul. And that's the end of the book, which is very sudden. I want to see what happened, right? Did they battle it out, or did he just take his soul with his pranks, right? Because we now go into the movies. Cinema of Slaughter, Movies, Mayhem, Madness in issue number 6. So I wonder if this is going to continue, or maybe an aftermath into this one or in others one. But this feels very sudden. But it also shows that what a threat Pranky is to the other residents of HYDE Street. Well, okay, that was a little bit over the top. Guys, comment, like, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a fun weekend. I see you on the next one. Bye-bye.